Let's get to the news. President Trump is set to meet today with the Philadelphia Eagles, and let's hope it goes better than the last time he met an eagle. President Trump is receiving criticism for wearing a blue suit on Saturday to Pope Francis's funeral at the Vatican, though I don't think the suit was his biggest problem. Look, and that sleepy guy, that's what I look like on vacation after I have 2 beers in the sun. In a post on Truth Social yesterday, President Trump urged House Republicans to skip a celebration of his first 100 days in office to vote on his tax bill. Oh, I hate to break it to you, buddy. There wasn't gonna be a celebration. When asked in a new interview with The Atlantic about the recent turmoil at the Pentagon under Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, President Trump defended Hegseth and said, quote, "I think he's going to get it together." And I think it's not a great sign when the president talks about the Secretary of Defense the same way Giants fans talk about a quarterback. In a post over the weekend on Truth Social, President Trump said that he is, quote, "bringing Columbus Day back from the ashes." Really? What's the plan? 2 parades? Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem reportedly had her purse stolen while dining with her family at a Washington, D.C. restaurant, and you would not believe how many Dalmatians it took to make. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced earlier this month that the Trump administration would take control of the renovation of Penn Station and said, quote, "New York City deserves a Penn Station that reflects America's greatness," except that currently it kinda does. The White House is reportedly considering ideas to boost the country's birth rate, like sending Elon Musk on spring break. Hello, hey. Does anyone here have uteri? That's right. The White House is reportedly considering ideas to to boost the country's birth rate and to birth the country's boost rate. We really, if you don't do both in tandem, like, it's for nothing. So I do think I said it right. The White House is reportedly considering ideas to boost the country's birth rate, including a $5,000 baby bonus for women. $5,000? Do you know what it costs to raise a child? $5,000. That's like taking a $1 off coupon to a Mercedes dealership. A miniature Dachshund that went missing on a 2023 camping trip was recently rescued after more than 500 days in the Australian wilderness. But I gotta say, he has changed. And finally, a Florida man recently swam through an alligator-infested lake to rescue an injured bald eagle and said, quote, "This is the symbol of America, man. While a dude jumping into a lake full of alligators is definitely the symbol of Florida." Today was President Trump's 100th day in office. Well, 100th day as president, 4th day in office. In a post over the weekend on Truth Social, President Trump said that he is, quote, "bringing Columbus Day back from the ashes," by claiming he discovered it when people already knew it existed. President Trump sat for an interview tonight with ABC News, and while he was at ABC, he closed down Abbott Elementary. They teach woke. The Trump Organization has started selling Trump 2028 hats, but that's crazy. He can't run for a 3rd term. That would be, oh no. The Vatican announced this week that 135 cardinals from around the world will convene on May 7th for the conclave to elect a new pope, which means I'm about to lose a lot of money on FanDuel. Got a lot of opinions. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced earlier this month that the Trump administration would take control of the renovation of New York's Penn Station. It's the perfect project for Trump since it's the only thing we have that he can't make any worse. Authorities at Chicago's Midway Airport over the weekend arrested a passenger on a Southwest Airlines flight after she allegedly took off her clothes and pooped on her seat as the plane landed. Well, it's still better than clapping. The deodorant company Billy has launched an ad campaign that features scratch and sniff posters in New York. But if you're willingly scratching and sniffing the walls of New York, you're probably not the deodorant type. A dog food brand recently announced that they're looking for a summer intern to smell dogs' breath in order to evaluate the effectiveness of their new dental product, in case you're looking for a career where AI will never replace you. Chipotle has announced that it plans to open a restaurant in Mexico next year. Meanwhile, the Olive Garden in Italy was just burned to the ground. Isanada pasta. And finally, a letter written on board the Titanic before it sank recently sold at auction for nearly $400,000. And I mean, it was written right before it sank. After the Commerce Department reported today that the U.S. economy contracted during the first quarter, President Trump blamed former President Joe Biden in a post on Truth Social, and then former President Obama, and then Hillary Clinton, and then Danielle from The Traders, and finally, the Noid. When asked yesterday by reporters about who should replace Pope Francis, President Trump said that he would like to be Pope, and added, quote, "That would be my #1 choice. Oh, buddy, ours too. You leave the country, you give one speech a year, it's a deal." I will say, I do think he has the humility for the job. During last night's Oval Office interview, President Trump told ABC News journalist Terry Moran that the sit-down would help his career and said, quote, "I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you," which is also what he told JD. President Trump reportedly spoke on the phone yesterday with Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, but even he doesn't know how to cancel your Prime membership. "It's just I don't think I need it anymore." "Well, because I'm the president, so the savings matter less." In response to President Trump's tariffs, some Canadians are boycotting American tech companies in favor of more obscure alternatives, including a Canadian email server called Northmail. It's like Gmail, except the auto replies are very different. The New York Times published an article yesterday about the increasing popularity of cross necklaces among political figures. I guess in these trying times, you'll do anything to keep Stephen Miller out of your office. "Can I talk to you for a child in the Netherlands reportedly scratched and damaged a Mark Rothko painting worth an estimated $56 million. Excuse, this painting is worth $56 million because it looks like Rothko was just trying to decide what color to paint the rec room. "Hey, babe, what do you think? Dull blue or bright red?" That's my Rothko impression. "Finished another painting. 56 mil, I'm not going down a penny." Like halfway through that, I'm like, what do I think Mark Rothko talks like? Done. Chipotle yesterday unveiled a new digital gaming experience called Ingredient Quest. Oh, that's funny. Ingredient Quest is what I call it when I eat a Subway sandwich. No, still just bread. Finally, a Family Dollar store in Fort Lauderdale was recently forced to shut down their pet food section after health inspectors found rodent droppings on a shelf. Well, sure, but at an amazing price. President Trump was set to deliver the commencement address tonight at the University of Alabama, where he told students they could achieve anything in life as long as they come from money and don't apply themselves. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is set to leave his post in the Trump administration. The news was first reported when he accidentally texted it to Lester Holt. During a town hall event last night, President Trump said that the polls that say his approval rating is at an all-time low are fake because how can it be an all-time low when they're gonna be way lower next month? You just have no vision. You have no vision. We're gonna get there. When asked last night about his efforts to dismantle diversity initiatives, President Trump said, quote, "What we're doing is we have a country that's based solely on merit now." Okay, does anyone have a rebuttal?
You know, they say I wear a lot of hats. And as you can see, it's true. Even my hat has a hat.
That's right, President Trump said we're going to have a country that's based solely on merit. Damn straight, said his former senior advisor. Elon Musk wore 2 hats yesterday to President Trump's televised cabinet meeting and said, quote, "What can I say? I wear a lot of hats." All right, what's with this guy and prop comedy? First the sink, then the chainsaw, and now hats? He's like a one-man wedding photo booth.
It's funny because I don't really have a mustache. Do you see why that would be funny? I don't have one, but I've worn a...
During an Investments in America event yesterday at the White House, President Trump said that the room was filled with such powerful business leaders that if there was an explosion, then the entire industry would be wiped out. Man, he really knows how to put people at ease. Good afternoon, everyone. Imagine if you all died. In a new interview, Cardinal Luis Rafael Sacco said that, in a new interview, Cardinal Luis Rafael Sacco said that ahead of the conclave to elect Pope Francis' successor, there is a, quote, very fraternal atmosphere because apparently they're doing... You know what? I'm going to make an example. I'm not even going to go back and redo it. I feel like people watching at home try to figure out what the punchline was. And then just send it into us and we'll let you know, right? I think that's fun. I think that's fun for people at home. I flubbed twice and I just don't have the dignity left to try it a third time. So that's what that joke was. We're all a little bit disappointed. That's what that joke was. Moving on, amid a potential engineer strike, later this month, officials at New Jersey Transit have warned commuters that they may need to work from home. Said one New Jersey commuter, "How am I supposed to break a guy's thumb over Zoom?" Does he know we used his picture? You're going to be the one who tells him. A missing ball from a youth soccer team in Ireland was recently found on the other side of the Irish Sea in Wales, in what the nightly news in Wales is calling our top story tonight. And finally, a woodpecker has reportedly damaged more than 25 vehicles in one Massachusetts town. Even worse, it was driving on a suspended license. And that was a monologue, everybody.